Hey everybody, this is impromptu, kind of last moment, on the fly, edge of your seat kind of thing that I wanted to do. If you are a follower or just a fan or just have been seeing me post all kinds of stuff about the I Ching and the Tao of Drumming and putting together the hexagram rhythms on this type of drum so people can play them anytime, anywhere, alone, in a group, whatever the case may be. They do come in extremely handy. They're extremely handy beats. And I cover that in a little detail each time I put one up, okay? But what I wanted to do was kind of go back to the beginning, because I know I don't take a lot of time to actually explain what the cosmology of the I Ching is to everyone. I just basically say, hey, here's this beat, this is what it means, this is how you play it, and I go put it in your world, which works, but it helps if you have an actual understanding a little more in depth. So I just wanted to take a couple minutes of your time on this rainy Saturday evening here in Texas and share with you the cosmology of the I Ching. If I mispronounce any words or stutter or slur, please forgive in advance. Here we go. Okay, the cosmology of the I Ching is written by Michael Drake. In the beginning, there was only the Tao, or mysterious void. From Tao came forth Tai Chi, the unmanifest essence of being. Yin and Yang, the feminine and masculine aspects of the universe, were an inseparable whole. They rested in a state of absolute stillness in the oneness of Tai Chi. Through the act of creation, Yin and Yang became aware of their polarity. They began to vibrate and spiral in a sacred dance, giving birth to the sonic pulse of the cosmos. Radiating outward in ever-widening circles, the resonating energy of pulsation collected around inertia to form vibrational patterns and matter. Waves of rhythmic pulses reverberated throughout the universe, weaving the web of existence. This cosmology that describes the universe in terms of only two polar but co-creative aspects is beautiful in its simplicity and forms the basis on which the I Ching was structured over 4,000 years ago. The I Ching is the culmination of Chinese thought regarding the nature of reality. It is a philosophical system of primal insights into the workings and destiny of the universe. The sages of ancient China revealed the most profound secret of the universe, that yin and yang pulsate within all things and in unison. They are the moving force of nature and all of its manifestations. All things contain varying degrees of yin and yang. The black vibration of yin is dark, passive, feminine, nurturing, intuitive, and corresponds to earth or matter. The white vibration of yang is light, active, masculine, creative, expansive, and corresponds to heaven or spirit. Yin and yang continually interact, creating the cycles and rhythms of life. The ancient Chinese realized that life was a rhythmic existence. They perceived that the movement of Tao between being and non-being created the polarity of yin and yang. Yin and yang thus gave birth to the pulse of life. Pulsation gave birth to time and material form, while the intervals of pulsation remained timeless and formless. All things were born of rhythm, and it was rhythm that held them in form. Perceiving that healthy living things are not only internally rhythmic, but also synchronized with their environments. The Chinese based their survival on keeping track of these rhythms. Living in harmony with the rhythms of nature was a vital importance to the early agrarian culture. By observing patterns of events arising in the natural world, the social world, and the inner world of the psyche, the sages deciphered nature's rhythm code and preserved it for future generations. Otherwise known as the Canon of Change, this archaic and enigmatic text was the fountainhead of Taoist and Confucian thought. Its philosophy encompasses such issues as ethics, social values, and personal responsibility. It conveys archetypal paradigms and perspectives that serve as models of ethical and harmonious living. The philosophy unveiled in the I Ching is simple and consistent. If we relate correctly, keeping ourselves in tune with the cosmos, all things work out beneficially to all concerned. The I Ching, as a divinatory tool, most likely had its roots in the ancient shamanic traditions of China. Its beginnings, however, are credited to Fu Si, the legendary founder of China's first dynasty, the Xia dynasty, which ran from 2205 to 1766 BC. According to legend, Fu Si originated the yin-yang system of the I Ching some 4,000 years ago. He perceived that yin and yang are the primordial polar elements which bring all existence into being. Yin and yang continually interact, creating the archetypal patterns of cyclical change. Based on the polar elements, yin and yang, Fu Si developed a system of linear signs to be used as a simple yes and no oracle. Yang was designated as an unbroken line, so just a straight solid line, and indicated yes. Yin was designated as a broken line and indicated no, so two smaller lines side by side. This simple oracle evolved into an oral divinatory tradition that was handed down in some form for over 1,000 years before being compiled into a written text. The original text was systemized by King Wen around 1150 BC and remains virtually unchanged to the present. It consists of 64 hexagrams or 6-line diagrams. Each hexagram is accompanied by a text containing folk poetry, historical tales, and commentary. These ancient texts describe the conditions associated with 64 archetypal patterns of change. They convey the laws and principles pertaining to time and change. The hexagram images reveal the patterns through which change manifests itself in the ebb and flow of time. The hexagrams and lines in their movements and changes mysteriously reproduce the movements and changes of the macrocosm. The I Ching is a microcosm of all possible human situations. It serves as a dynamic map whose function is to reveal one's relative position in the cosmos of events. The I Ching reflects the philosophy that all events, past, present, and future, are part of a single interrelated whole. It describes the universe as a vast entity and all things in it in constant cyclical change. The central theme is that all things move in predictable patterns or cycles, therefore, no situation is static or immutable. The I Ching is a codebook of archetypal patterns in which the hexagrams counsel appropriate action in the moment for a given set of circumstances. Each moment has a pattern to it, and everything that happens in that moment is interconnected. Based on the synchronicity of the universe and the laws of probability, the I Ching responds to an inquiry in the form of a hexagram. By evaluating the hexagram that describes the current pattern of relationship, one can divine the outcome. The pattern integrity, or the canon of change, has remained intact for thousands of years. As a counsel and advisor, the I Ching reveals the optimal manner for integrating or harmonizing with the inevitable for any condition. So I wanted to, hey Lindsay, what's up, my friend? Thank you for watching. This was just like I said, spur of the moment. So I just wanted to share this with you guys briefly to kind of give you a, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a what of what the I Ching and the Tao of Drumming is. So my best translation of that is each of these 6 lines that you have in a hexagram, they vibrate to the polarity and the rhythmic pulse of the universe, but they're only going to present themselves in 2 forms, in 2 manners, in a solid line, which is yang, or in a dashed line, which is yin. And that vibration comes from the intention that you put each time you send out an inquiry, okay? So that hexagram formulates and creates its matter and its physical manifestation based off of your intent and what the universe has in store for you. So it's kind of think of it as two jigsaw puzzles that come together to kind of formulate and create a response. And based on that, you can actually, because I've had this book for a long time, and this guy really goes into detail, and I do my best to share it because I honor his work. Play these hexagrams on a drum like this, on a hoop drum, frame drum, on a book, on a countertop, on a tabletop at dinner. You know, if you're waiting for dinner, you can play one out. It's the intention that you put behind it, and it's the intention you put into it as you're listening. So you don't always have to listen. You don't always have to play, but just hearing it. So what I always tell people is learn how to play it, and then learn how to play it like in fluidity. So there's no break, there's no stop. It just keeps going, right? And then record it with your device, and then listen to it, and then put an intention behind it. That in a nutshell is the I Ching, Tao of Drumming, the actual cosmology of the I Ching. I know this was a last minute thing. Lindsay, I thank you for watching. You're just a blessing, and I can't wait to come down to Louisiana and share these guys with everyone there. So thank you for putting that up. I want to just wish you guys a happy weekend and be safe. It's raining here in our area, so if it's raining or if it's not, just be safe and stay blessed. And I hope to see you guys in the very, very, very near future. Aho aibobo, and just stay blessed and happy drumming, and have a great weekend.